guys, welcome back to my channel Pages and Me. My name is Jolien and I'm sorry I forgot to film this video, but we are going to talk about the books I read in March. This is in no particular order because I forgot to film this video and I am now just going through the books that I read. So I do know that I read this as the first book, and this is Lockwood & Co. This is the first book in a 5-book series, I think. This is the Screaming Staircase, and I have to say I did like this one. It's exactly or almost exactly like the Netflix series, and I have watched I think 2 or 3 episodes on Netflix about that, so I do want to continue watching the series. This is about young kids, well, 18 or a little bit older, but not that old, and they are like hunting ghosts, and you can die if a ghost touches you, and you can get possessed and stuff like that. So this is a very interesting topic and I like it, and I like the Netflix series, so I do recommend this one. I gave it 4 stars. And the next book I have here is this one, Magic Study, and this is book 2. Book 1 was Potion Study. I read that one in February or January, I don't know, but I read that one this year. And Potion Study was for me like I had the same feelings from Prison Healer. I do find it a bit like the same, but it isn't. Like, one is a prison healer and one is the food taster of the commander. And in here she is getting to know her magical powers more. And normally there is book 3 as well, but I don't know. Yes, it's Fire Study. So book 3 is Fire Study. I don't have that one. I also bought this one second hand, just as almost all of them. I think one of them I bought new, but all the rest is second hand. So we have that. I do also recommend the series, but for a younger public. So I think for like 14 years old. Then I have this one, Maggie's Stiefvater with the Raven Boys. This is the Dutch version, and I think I gave this one 3 stars. I wasn't as big of a fan of it as the other people. I saw this one getting like raved about on TikTok, but for me it wasn't it. And this was also a book on my spring TBR, so we have another one that is going off. This is book 1, and I think there are like 3 or 4 more books. No, okay, it doesn't say in here, but there are more books. I don't know the names, but I know there are more. Then we have the only 4.5 stars in the series, and the books that I read this month in March. This is Harry Potter, and this is book 7. I do have to say I liked the movies more about book 7. Yes, the fights are more like inspiring, and you see them more fighting, and there's a lot more passion. I feel like there's a lot more that happens in the movies. It's also in the movies you have part 1 and 2, and here we have just 1 book, and it's 515 pages, something like that. So I do find Harry Potter a good series, but the films of book 7 are better. I'm sorry about that. Also second hand bought, like most of my books, so this is also a keep. then I have here the omnibus of the Air Awakens series, and I have read book 3 in this book, a book that I started in January or February, and I didn't finish it, so I did it in March, and that was Earth's End. Oh, I still have here my marker, but I will move it to the next book. I do have to say, until like chapter 20, and there are 22 chapters, everything is going well, they are having their happy ending, and then not anymore. So I did find it a bit sad, but I know there are 2 more books, they will have their happy ending, they will. And then we have The Goal. This is also a book that I started in 2025, and I haven't finished it because I found it kind of boring, but I have finished it in March, and I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't my favorite in the series. I liked The Deal, the first one in the series, the most. The other ones aren't that good, I think, more like forced. I still have to read The Legacy, but normally you should read that one after you read the Briar You series, but I don't have that one, so I will probably just go to The Legacy. So yeah, this is also a second-hand book because it's annotated, and I don't annotate my book with flues. I do it with pencil and tabs if I want to. Not everything is tabbed. So I think I paid like €2 at most for this book. So yeah. Then we have The Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare, and this is book 2 in the Infernal Devices series. Oh, apparently this is a collector's edition. Okay, I didn't know. I just like the covers. So, do I find this a good book? Yes, but I think I like book 1 and book 3 the most. Like in most trilogies, book 1 and book 3 are the best. Book 2 is like a filler. So, yeah, I would say stay with me for the April update when I say everything I read, because I have finished this series in April, but that will probably, I will say more about this in the April update. So yeah, I do like this book, so I give it 4 stars. That says a lot. Then I have this one, The School for Good and Evil, Quest for Glory. This wasn't my favorite. I think I gave it 3 stars, at most 4, but I find it a bit weird. There's a lot of action happening, but like people die, or and they're all like my age, no, not my age, younger. They're like 16, between 16 and 18, and they have to fight for their life, which is kind of weird, but also it's fairy tales, so yes. I do have 2 more books of them. You can see them over here. I think I will read the next book in May or maybe June. This is a series on my focus on the series page in my reading journal, so I would like to have that finished in 2026, but since there's just 2 more books I need to read, maybe some of the other, I know there are 2 more books about the schoolmasters, but those are kind of like prequels. I'm not so sure if I want to read them. Just say, I did kind of suspect who, well, this is a spoiler, the Prince Theodore has a bastard son, a brother, not son, a bastard brother, and I kind of suspected who it was, and I was right. So yeah, not as much fun if you know who it was, but I actually do recommend the series so far. This wasn't my favorite of the 3-4 books that I read in the series. So yeah, I know it will get better because 2 more books, but yeah. Then we have this one, Psycho Academy, and this is by Jasmine Mess, and this is the Cruel Shifters verse. So you have 6 books, but book 1 to 3 is Sadie's story, book 4 to 6 is Aaron's story. So this is the first book, an Aaron's story, and I liked it. I just find it a bit sad because in the end of this book it's already spoiled who she is, and I also know where it's going, but I'm interested to see for book 4 and 5 and 6 there are a lot thicker than the other ones. Yeah, they're like 200 pages more. So yeah, probably for an A, because again, this is not a series focused on a series. It's not on that page, but I do put it over here. This is the books that I want to read in 2026. Like those are from the series. So yeah, I want to finish the series, but I was kind of like bored of it because I read them so shortly together that I was like, I need a break. So just like the School for Good and Evil, I needed a break. So I need a break of this one as well. So probably in May or in June we will continue with it. And then the last book is from the Vampire Academy series, Spiritbound. That's book 5. There are 6 books. You can see I tapped book 4, book 5 and book 6. I'm almost halfway in book 6. I do have to say, I know I read that, like, I know I read like book 4 completely. Book 5 I skimmed a bit, like I read like half and then I skimmed a bit through it. So I knew what was going to happen. Also kind of sad what was going to happen. Now I'm on book 6. Do I like the series? Yes. Do I recommend it? Yes, but you need, I think, because I read it when I was like 12. I loved the series. I still love it, but if you haven't read it when you were younger, you probably wouldn't like it if you were older. So just keep that in mind, but I gave it 4 stars. So yeah. So I think I read 10 books if I'm correctly. Yes, 10 books and no ebooks. Wait, I did read this one as an ebook because I got the e-read for my birthday, but I also have it in here, so because it's it's heavy in your hands, and that it's why I for an e-reader, so it's easier to hold instead of a book from more than 1,000 pages. So yeah, I read 10 books. I finally hit my goal of 10 books in a month. Not all of them were on my TBR for March, like this one, Liquid and Co wasn't on there, but I wanted to read it. And yeah, that was it for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.